Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you very much for joining me today for the card making video. And today we're using Blessings of Home and the coordinating dies. Now what are these called? Flowers of Home, that's what they're called. To make this card, I'm going to make a variation. You know, I like to give you some colour options when I do my samples. So that's lost its focus, there we go. So hopefully you can see that nice and clearly now. We're going to do some colouring with Stampin' Blends. I like that a lot, and we've got some fun stuff in the background using some masks. So a really nice card. This has been made for the Inspire.Create.Challenge. So it's a little group on the design team for. So our challenge for number 130 is a blank canvas. We can make whatever we want. It's a designer's choice, so there's lots of flexibility there for you guys to upload some photographs of what you've been making in the last few days or all coming up. You've got till next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, to upload a photograph and be in with a chance of being picked out as a winner. So do pop along to that blog post. The link will be in the description of this video, so you can just pop along there, see what everybody else has made on the design team as well. Okay, so some of them might have videos as well, so just have a little look and check those out. Yeah, so it's an opportunity to take part and get some of your work out there for others to see. Okay, so like I say, free canvas, so I was just making something pretty that I wanted to make. Okay, and this is very much up my street. I like this kind of style of card. So let's get cracking. So there's not, it's apart from the colouring, the rest of it's reasonably straightforward. We're not going to be well, in fact, strike that, the colouring is very straightforward. It's just a matter of practice and everything. So I do have a regular viewer who's a bit intimidated by Stampin' Blend, so I'm going to keep sharing these nice quick colouring videos, and hopefully it will give you the confidence to give it a try. So plain white card base. I'm trying to keep it sort of a bit on the clean and simple sort of side. So that's basic white thick cardstock, cut and scored at the usual dimensions. So that's cut at 4 1/8, scored at 5 7/8, and I've got a full card front. This is 4 inches by 5 3/4. Okay, so we just want to do a little bit of blending onto the background. Okay, so just going to put my card base to one side, bring in a mat to work on. And for this card we're going to do some pinks. Okay, so because I'm not going to take this down, but I'm just going to use the grid just to help me line it up, sort of, just so that we get that nice and covered. Okay, so like I say, we're going to go a pink combo this time round, and I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so on the sample card I used Balmy Blue. It's got some scrap here just to take off. So what I'm just doing is just taking off the first sort of layer of ink, just so we can just pick up just a little bit. Okay, and I know my image is going to go sort of here-ish, so I'm just going to start there and blend outwards a little bit, but I'm not looking to cover the whole card. I just want to put something in the background, so I'm literally just going to go around there like that, and however it turns out is how it turns out. Okay, I'm not even going to not going to worry that it's stopped here or anything. I just want it to be really organic. So that was it. Merest bit of ink on the blending brush, and then just a top tip that I find useful. When you're using the stencils, you'll find that there's a very shiny side and a not so shiny side. I do find that you get sort of a better sort of your brush or whatever runs a lot smoother over this side, and it's easier to clean. So just bear that in mind when you're using the stencils. So there's just sort of a less shiny side and a super shiny side, so I use that one to ink over. And then you can just make sure you wipe that off with a damp cloth or chuck it in the sink or whatever, and get that ink off. Because what you don't want is that residual ink coming off next time. Sorry, camera focus has gone weird. Seems to be having problems with this at the moment. I don't know whether it's because of my background or what. I don't know. Just give me a sec. Okay, seems to be back now. Okay, so that's that bit done. Okay, and then I've just got a bit of scrap here, and we're just going to use the Memento ink. That still seems fuzzy to me. To stamp the images that we're going to colour, because we want to. So we're going to use Memento ink to stamp our images. Okay, so I've got both the sentiment and the sort of floral image there. So this is mounted onto an E-block, and normally I would take a stamp to the ink pad, but because we're using Memento, this felt pad, and it's a slightly larger pad, I'm just going to go onto it like that. Okay, we'll just stamp that to the top of this. This is just a scrap because we're going to die cut it out, so it's not a specific measurement. The only thing I've done is made sure that it will fit through the mini cut and emboss. Okay, so that's our image, which hasn't turned out great, so we're going to do it again. Two sides to every piece of paper, so we've got that facility to do that again. That's better. That was user error. And then the sentiment I'm just going to pop down at the bottom. You're going to have lots of light tapping when you're using this felt Memento ink pad. I like to keep mine really well inked as well, just to help. Okay, so you just want to check that that's all nice and coated. Okay, I'm going to pop that at the bottom because we can punch that out and that's not going to get in the way. Okay, so that's all there. Beautiful. So we can pop that away now, and we could even punch that out ready as well, so that we've got that. This is the Label Me Fancy punch. And because we've got a nice straight font, it's quite easy to line that up, she says. There we go. So that's ready to go on our card too. And then we've just got our colouring to do. So like I say, we're going to do some pinks for the flower. Just going to drop in some Daffodil Delight onto the centres of these flowers. And that's going to dry. It's just one marker. I happen to have picked up the light one, so no need to blend that per se. So that's there. Okay, and then we're going to use a combination of Flirty Flamingo and Melon Mambo for the flowers. So it's flirty in the background on the card, so that's what the sort of take or strategy I used on the other cards as well. So the artist has given us these little dots within the artwork. Okay, and all I'm doing is going over the those dots with that dark marker, a darker marker. This is the light Melon Mambo. Okay, so kind of hoping that my focus is going to behave itself with the white background. I don't know what was making it go off. So again, just dropping some little bits. I mean, it's just little bits. I mean, there is literally no skill involved. I'm just going over those little dots in and around the centre of that flower. Okay, so I hope you can see that. Okay, so it looks kind of weird, right? Okay, but like I say, as we build up the colours, it's going to look great. Okay, so this is the dark Flirty Flamingo now. Now the little flowers are so small, we aren't really going to have a chance to get in the light colour. So we're just going to blend these ones out just with the darker marker, and it will just make them a little different to the main flowers, if you like. So again, just colour it in. The blending will do its thing. Those inks will run together as they're intended to. And it doesn't happen straight away, so it might look a bit odd to start off with, but eventually that will dry through and it'll look great. So with the bigger flowers, we're basically going to extend a little bit, but not all the way to the end to the edge of the petal. So we're kind of going over where we did before, plus a bit, but not quite to the edge. Okay, so we're leaving room at the edge for that lighter marker to come through. Okay. So on the blue card, Balmy Blue was the background colour, but the accent I used in the centre was actually Tahitian Tide, just to give that another level. So you don't have to stick to the paired combos. You can introduce other colours, and you just get some scrap paper or scrap cardstock, you know, your offcuts from your, when you do your layers and things like that. It's best to use the same cardstock, the basic white cardstock, because then you get a realistic look of what it will look like on a project. So if you use another type of card or copy paper or something like that, you may not get exactly the same result. So try and use your basic white scraps and just do some practicing. So now we're going over the edge where those colours are and coming out to the edge. Okay, you can go over it a couple of times, and the idea is that that alcohol that's carrying the pigment there will also carry some of the pigment out from what you've already done, and they will blend together. As I say, it might take a time once it's dried back. So the little flowers have dried back properly now, and they look really, really cute. Really, really cute. And you know, oh, because I've stamped on the background, but you see how it's coming through on the back? It's doing its job. It's getting that cardstock wet with the alcohol and doing its thing. Okay, we can always go over it again afterwards if we think it hasn't done what it needed to. So in a similar way, we're going to do our leaves using the light evening evergreen and then the soft succulent pair. So again, we'll use the that dark marker and just drop this in where those little speckles are in the artwork. That's all we're doing. Sort of tracing almost. The tip you use is really up to you. Personal preference as to which one you think you've got the most control over. So the darker soft succulent is going to go over that. Now those colours look quite similar to start off with, but they do dry back a different. So again, we're going over the evergreen plus some. These little ones won't have much space left, but we'll go with it. Just dropping that colour in. Any white space will be filled up by our lighter colour. That's it. And then the light marker just to finish that off. let the magic happen. You may see other people use their light marker first to saturate the card and then work in their blending. I think it's very much a personal choice thing. I think either method works, but it's what suits your style. Checking I'm still in shot because I'm zoomed in, because so usually I'd still be in shot there, so, and hopefully my hand isn't getting in the way too much. Okay, so there we are. So the colour differentiation is just sort of coming out a little bit more now that that's drying, that light marker's drying back. Okay, so that's what we've got. And I say, if you think you need a bit more alcohol in there to get those things moving again, then drop a bit more in. Okay, but I'm very happy with that. Just put those up there out the way, and then we're just going to go over those petals with some Wink of Stella as well. So just rubbing over that. You can see how delicate I'm being with that. Just rub it on. And you know what? If it goes outside the lines, I don't mind. It's just extra bling as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got some shimmer on there as well. So hopefully I can, there we go. Isn't that cool? Okay, super duper. So let's zoom you back out a little bit so we can bring in the cut emboss. We can use the mini. Okay, so we'll just grab that. Just fold out the little wings there and grab the plates, which I've got just up here, just behind you. Hopefully they don't whack you. There we are, that's it. So again, it all says on the machine exactly what you need. So we need our number 1 platform, and we need our 2 clear cutting plates to sandwich our designs through. So that's our base platform. This is my very well, look at that. It's really well used. Okay. And then just going to grab some of this tape. So I reuse this tape and I just leave it on there so that I can use it over and over again. Where I've put my dies, there they are. So we'll just grab the matching die there and place that over the top. Oh. Usually find if you sort of get a north point and a south point lined up, the rest of it kind of does itself. And you know, just have a look. This one has just cut a nice white board around. So we'll just lie that on, put our other cutting plate on top and roll that through. Now this might slip and slide a bit because it's not the best surface to die cut on, but it rolls through just brilliant. It'll come out the other end like so, and just fold this away and pop it back over there. Don't need to do any more die cutting, so we can just pop those away without knocking you over. Come a bit far out, aren't I? And then that's it, that's all popped out beautifully. Lovely white border around there, okay. And now all it is a case of putting that together. Dead easy. Dead easy. Okay, so bringing in my Stampin' Seal, which I really like to use because it's quick and easy. Okay, and then you can sort of decide whether you want it that way or that way. I think we'll have it this way. So that was Flirty Flamingo, don't forget, just through one of our decorative masks. So a set of those. There's another sort of mask that can kind of fit over the top of that to give like a quatrefoil sort of look to it. And then, gosh, these guys don't want to be picked up. These guys need some dimensionals behind them, so we'll just pop those there. Maybe, do we need 3? Yeah, maybe 2 there and 1 there. And a little triangle. That'll probably do it. So depending on your design, sometimes it's easier to put your sentiment down first, and other times it's easier to put your focal image down. So on this occasion, I'm going to opt for making sure my flower is placed where I want it to be. So I think we're going to have it kind of there. And then there's no dimensionals behind that, but this will help hold that down a little bit. We just pop that in, just sort of tuck that in and connect it in. We've still got some of the blending coming out to the one side as well, which is cute. Haven't bothered to add any ribbon, but you could totally add ribbon to this, make it look really, really cute. Okay, let's see if that focus will carry on behaving. And then the finishing touch was just some basic pearls, plain white. You could of course colour them to match the project if you wanted to, but I decided not to. So again, it's about you know, drawing our eye into the design. So an odd number is always great to do that. So I'm just going to use my take your pick tool just to take those off the sheet there. I'm going to use a mixture of sizes just to jazz that up a little bit. You could just as easily use our rhinestones, the iridescent ones, or the plain ones would have done, or something, or coloured them to match the project as well. So that's the finished card. This was the sample I showed you at the beginning. Okay, so Melon Mumbo Flirty, Flamingo, Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen. This was Tahitian Tide and Balmy Blue with Granny Apple Green and a little bit of Old Olive. And then this one I actually used Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather for this one, and it's Old Olive in the foliage. Okay, all right. So there we go. There's 3 colourways there for the same design. So I hope you like those and want to give those a try. So get your blends out, have a bit of a practice, and see what you can come up with. So don't forget to take part. Links in the description of everything that I've used today, and to the Inspire Create blog post where you can upload your own designs for us to have a look at. Thanks for joining me today. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.